January was a wild ride. I mean, ride like bicycle, like... Some of my New Year's resolutions felt like they were falling apart, but others proved to be much harder to break than I expected. Anyways, by the end of the January, I think I managed to get on track, with the thrice of tweaking some of the routines and sacrificing some of the goals. So here how it was. The start of the year wasn't quite what I had hoped for. In fact, it was even worse. I knew that it wouldn't be easy to make significant changes overnight, but I thought that I could stick to at least half of my resolutions. But boy, was I wrong. On January 1st, after finishing my resolution video in the middle of the night, I realized that my morning routine was already messed up. And to make matters worse, I was still recovering from the flu and couldn't celebrate the end of the year the way I had planned. But despite that, I did manage to make some progress. I quit caffeine, added sugar, unnecessary spending and, quite surprisingly, smoking. I took a week off to adjust to my new lifestyle, but it took a toll on my main goal for the month, commuting by bike. I only managed 2 rides that week, instead of meeting a minimum goal of 3. On the second day, I was seduced by the leftover food and alcohol, and on the 3rd of January, I failed to drink 2 liters of water and took the phone with me to the restroom. Needless to say that during the first week, I didn't even try to follow my routines, and aside of not smoking, wasn't really proud of myself. Next week was way better. I returned to the office and started riding the bike 3 times a week. By the way, my route is 11 kilometers long, and although I commute mainly downhill and getting to work isn't that hard, it means that I have to return home uphill, which makes me break a sweat. Commuting by bike has many benefits, such as saving money on gas, reducing carbon emission, improving cardiovascular health and reducing stress, but for me, it is the most exciting way to keep myself on track. It's not hard for me to justify the ride, only bad weather can make me unwilling to ride, which isn't rare here. I love the feeling that I get each ride, and my route is picturesque. However, I have to make some changes to it, because even the most beautiful scenery can become tedious when you see it over and over again. Other than that, in the second week I started implementing my morning and evening routines. I mean, I failed to follow them 2 times, but whatever. Also, all of that nasty mayonnaise-greased leftover food was finally finished. And the only roadblock left was alcohol, which I quite providently bought in immense quantities for some reason. So on the week 3, I started to feel like I actually could do it. After the streak of success, I began to plug the holes in my plan. In the middle of the week, I emptied my alcohol reserves, and since then, haven't had a sip. A week and a half without alcohol feels like a terrific achievement to me. Maybe I need some help? And that week I started being worried about my relationship with my phone. Every morning after my routine, I rewarded myself with some internet time. And it quickly became a distraction. So I made a rule to leave my phone on a charger in the closet when I'm at home and to use it only outside. Instead, I bought 2 magazines of weekly and bi-monthly issues that really helped. I will share more details about this once I adopt the habit. And finally, this week I polished rough edges. I resolved my month-old dilemma about making pull-ups every morning. The thing is that from day 1 I was extremely reluctant to start making them. They were included in the list of my resolutions because I thought it would be fun and they would act as a warm-up before my commute. And that could have helped, but historically pull-ups are exercises I hate doing. So I miserably failed this resolution and decided to remove it from my goals list. Wisdom, it's hard to convince yourself into doing something daily if you don't really know why you need it in the first place. Throughout the months I learned that some habits were easier to break than I expected, such as quitting smoking, drinking coffee, as well as avoiding unnecessary purchases. On the other hand, other habits were harder for me to deal with than anticipated, such as quitting alcohol, using cash for payments, and tracking my expenses. So, the summary. I feel like I finally started to get on the rails. I'm excited about February because next month I have to acquire a new habit of visiting gym 3 times a week. I think it will dramatically enhance my body transformation process because of the amount of calories burned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month for an update of my progress.